right. So, hi everybody. Mel and I wanted to come talk to you because we've been reading The Perfection Detox by Petra Kolberg. It's a practical guide that helps you tame your inner critic, live bravely, and unleash your joy.
We decided that the content and lessons and activities were too good not to share, mostly as part of the self love challenge. So, this book is broken down into 21 steps, and we're provided with a homework for each step. So, in this video, we'll be talking about the first steps, which is all about negative thoughts, and we'll be sharing our key takeaways.
Yeah, so let's dive right in. You've probably heard or read somewhere that of the 12,000 to 60,000 thoughts every day, 95% of them are the same as yesterday, and 80% of those are negative in some way. What really surprises me is that the brain cannot tell the difference between your perception of a situation and the reality.
Yeah, I really like the way she explained it in that your internal chemical response would be the exact same, whether you're feeling anxious about something or you're being chased by a big scary monster. Your body will be flooded by a quick release of adrenaline and cortisol and transported into full blown stress mode. Isn't that crazy? Like, whether you're anxious about being late for a hockey game or literally in a serious crisis,
Yeah.
your body reacts the same.
Yeah. Petra actually asks us to pay attention to the words and phrases that we use when we're talking to ourselves. So pick a day and spend 24 hours kind of jotting down the thoughts that seem to pop up repeatedly. And once you have your list, try to get that list down to about your 3 top hits. So the goal of this exercise is for simply awareness. And then eventually we will reframe and release those thoughts.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to do this exercise as I realize that I have a recurring negative thought in 3 aspects of my life. So at work, it's usually around I'm not doing enough. At home, it's I should be a better mom. And in a social setting, it's always around what others think of me. Like, I feel like they'll think I might be weird or I don't make sense or things like that.
Yeah, no, and my top hits are similar. One of my main ones is that I'm not smart enough. That happens to me in the workplace. It has to do with my job. Being at home with the kids, I often feel that I'm not patient or calm enough to deal with like the pressures of parenthood. And my biggest one right now, I think, is that I am a mess. So I have a lot of disorganization happening all around me. And that disorganization kind of makes me feel like I'm not enough. I can't keep it or hold it together. And that's a big one for me as well.
Petra explains that your mind repeating these negative thoughts on an endless loop is called rumination. So, an example, and probably the most common, is the imposter syndrome. So, thoughts such as, who am I to be doing this? Everyone will know that I don't have all the answers.
Yeah, there is part of our brain that believes that if you think about it long enough, hard enough, and often enough, that the situation will change and then you'll feel better. And basically, we are trying to change something that does not exist. So, whether it's something that's happened in the past or something that we can't control in the future.
Yeah, my mind was blown when I read this. This is exactly what I do every single night before bed when I do my like recap of my day. And I start to like nitpick on all the things I could have done better or said differently in order to have made it like a perfect response or, a perfect day. And it's exactly what like she said, right? It's I'm trying to make it change, but like it already happened. And obviously, I know that I will never make it change. So, all that I'm doing really is causing myself stress and exhaustion.
Yeah. No, for sure. She defines rumination as thinking about the past and wishing that it could have been differently. And rumination is self-destructive. But she also defines reflection as thinking about the past, but seeing the situation for what it was and looking at it and looking for ways to learn from what happened. And then this reflection is self-discovery. Yeah.
Yeah, Petra Kolber asked us to watch for rumination triggers and to write them down. So these triggers can be a location, a time, an emotional state, other people, or an action that occurs immediately before a habit.
Yeah. My biggest trigger that I've noticed from doing this exercise is hands down my emotional state. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed, whether it's at work or at home with the kids, my mind will literally scream at me about how bad of a job I'm doing because I'm feeling overwhelmed and then triggered by anything else that's going on around me.
Yeah, so Petra tells us to begin at practicing avoiding or eliminating as many triggers as possible. So she suggests to create a mini mantra every time one of these thoughts pop up in our heads to shift the direction of our inner dialogue from the negative thinking to our mini mantra, such as like, I am enough, be here now, things
Yeah.
like that.
And that's exactly what I've started to do. So now every time I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm telling myself to just breathe. Um, and in hopes of curbing those negative thoughts. Yeah. So just to recap, in this exercise, we identified our top 3 negative thoughts. We've looked for ways to recognize the triggers that cause those thoughts, and then created a mantra that we can say when we're feeling that in the moment. So if you're interested and able, try doing the exercise yourself. And if you do, share with us in the group. We'd love to hear how you liked it.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.